guys, welcome to this week's episode of Whitetail 365. This episode looks a little bit differently than the last few episodes that Jared and I have produced, and that is for good reason. The weather has been absolutely brutal this year in Iowa. We've had record snowfall, and I'm going to spend a lot of my hunts doing this exact same setup, hunting over some food plots that I planted this spring and midsummer. But I do want to talk to you guys quickly about the tactics that I'm going to use in terms of hoping to wrap my tag around one of these late season whitetails. At this point in the season in Iowa, we have 2 gun seasons that have passed, and these deer are super cagey. They've seen a lot of people, they've dealt with a lot of pressure, and they spook really easily. And so to avoid that, I'm going to just try to play it safe. I'm not trying to bump any deer off the farm, and I'm going to revert back to hunting deer on patterns. If you guys can remember back to early October, you can remember we talk a lot about hunting deer on green sources in these first big cold fronts. And this is once again a time to capitalize on some of those off-season projects of planting food plots, doing some bedding area work, anything like that that's going to help pull these deer into the farms that you guys are hunting. And so a lot of the tactics that I'm going to use are hunting over food plots. Whether it's in a blind or not, it doesn't really matter. But I just want to be able to get in and get out cleanly and not blow any deer off the field. And that's one of the toughest parts about hunting these food plots, is how do you get out? And we've had a lot of success with having a buddy or a neighbor or someone like that coming into the field with a vehicle and blowing these deer off, rather than seeing a human get in and out and causing any sort of intrusion. Another thing to keep in mind is as these deer start to develop these patterns, they are definitely going to be creatures of habit. A lot of times you're going to see a lot of the same deer hunt after hunt. So if you're not getting pictures of your target buck at all, chances are he's moved off and he's somewhere else to winter and to feed. In that case, my suggestion would be go find either where he's feeding or where another mature buck is feeding. This really isn't the time of the year where you're going to see a lot of new bucks cruise in unless you have a lot of destination food. So if that's not the case and you're not having great hunts, go somewhere else that is, and check into some overlooked properties. Maybe they're ag fields where you could just crawl into a fence line and get deer when they're on their need to feed during a snowstorm or anything like that. But this is probably a little bit of a basic episode just because the strategy this time of the year is so simple. Find the food, hunt the food, and hopefully that a big mature buck will show up. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you tuning in to Whitetail 365, and good luck hunting.